Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the Carbootcrafter, and I'm coming on today as a supplementary to my last video where I made the just grab it to show you. I made these cards, the surprise pop-out cards. Not quite sure what we call them, but yeah. So I made these cards, and during the video I quite blithely said, well, I've already made the flower because everybody knows how to make them. And then I got an email saying, well, actually I don't know how to make them. I've got one of these packs and but I'm not sure how to put it together. So Tracy, this video is for you. So this is the pack that I used to make this flower, and as I said in the video, I'll be making some more of these, so I thought I might as well switch the camera on while I make the flower for my next card. So yeah, so this is, I don't know, well, it says Trimcraft on the back, so I'm assuming it's Trimcraft. I bought this I think, as I said in the video, from a car boot with a handful of flowers in the back of it. There is some examples on the back, so I don't know whether every pack has got examples on the back, but this is how I make mine. So I take one sheet, and usually it's one sheet per flower, not always, but I'm sure you will, if you have a look, you'll be able to check if there's petals or leaves that are the same size, then you've probably got more than one flower there. So I push them all out, and then, because the pips will often show, I'll just grab my scissors and just very carefully round off and get rid of those pips. I just think it gives them a more finished look, so I'll do that with all the flowers and all the leaves and everything that that come in the pack, just very carefully. Or you can get a piece of sandpaper and just sand it back. Let me show you what I mean. So this is some very fine sandpaper, and you just rub it where the pip is. So hopefully you can see there's a pip there. Just rub it and it soon vanishes. So once you've done all of that, you're going to find the different sizes, and I like to lay them out in size order so that I just don't have to worry about whether I've got the right one or not. And then I've got two leaves, and I generally put those on at the end. So I'll pop them to one side. So I'll grab my first one. Now this one has got some little shapes that need to come out, so let me just grab my tweezers and I can just push them out like that. So there's quite a few. These are little heart-shaped ones which are quite cute. So just go all the way around the outside and push any out that need to pop out. So this one, and I think it's this one, will need to have some bits popped out. And you can keep, because these are a heart shape, I'm going to keep them because I may use them on another project. Now there are some pips in the middle in here, but I'm not going to worry about these too much because I know from experience that the next flower will cover that over. So I'm just going to go and pop those all out. Now for my project, I'm not going to curl this bottom one because I need to be able to stick this onto my card to bridge that gap. If you haven't seen my last video, do pop on and have a look at how I made that card. But I need this to bridge the gap, so I'm going to keep that one flat, but you can curl it if you want to. I'm going to curl the next one, but what I'm going to do is, because there's just a little pip there, let's get rid of that. Because it's quite flat, I want to curl it ever such a little bit, but there's not much there to get at. So I'm just going to cut down. Now I'm not going to do every one, I'm going to go every other one. So I'm just going to cut down a little bit just about 1.5 centimetres, just to release that so that it can curl without restriction. And then I'm going to bring in my bone folder and just curl. What I do like to do is push down in the middle as I'm pulling up. That gives it an up and down feel on that. So and I'm hoping a more sort of realistic feel to it. So I lift up that section like that as I'm pushing, so it bends the paper up, and then I just bend it back with the bone folder and I get that shape. So yeah, I just said I'm sure there's lots of people that know how to put these together, so I won't bother showing you how. And then of course I got that email from Tracy, who is assuming a fairly new crafter, saying, well, actually I've got some of those flowers and I'm really not sure how to put them together. So I thought it's just as easy for me to come on and do a video of it as it is to try and explain in a video, in an email back to her how to do it. So there we go. So I've tried to keep that bit as flat as possible. So I've got my bends going up and over. I'm going to use some, I use wet glue, but you can use whatever you've got to hand, double-sided tape, or you know, any of the other glues that are available. And I'm just going to pop that on, simple as that. So line it up so it's in the middle as much as possible, press down, and then I'm going to pop that to one side to dry while I start working on the next one. So this one has a different shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down those ones. Again, it's every other sort of wave, if you like. And again, I'm going down about 1.5 centimetres, about 1/2 inch. Just cutting that in and releasing it. What this does is it just gives it more, the card can move a little bit more than it can if I was trying to bend or shape it without doing that. So again, I'm going to put my thumb in the middle, move that up so I get that bend going up, and then I'm just going to put my bone folder behind and curl back. So very simple move, and this is something you do with all sorts of things, isn't it? If you're a seasoned crafter, you'll know very quickly this is one of the first lessons you learned about shaping your card. But of course, if you're new to crafting and new to paper crafting, you might not have seen this technique before, or you might have seen it and not quite sure why. So there we have a bit more shape on our card flower. So we've got that flat bottom so I can glue, and then hopefully from that side you can see that it bends down and then up, or from this side it bends up and then down. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to pop some glue on the middle there, like that. Bring my flower over and pop that on as well. Now what starts to happen is, because you've got dimension on those two, it's going to start popping up like that. So it won't stay because there's nothing there. So I'm going to just bring in something that's going to hold it. Let me just, oh, what can I grab? Oh yeah, I'm going to, it's a rubber. So I'm just going to stand that in the middle, and that will hold that in place. I'm going to bring in my next one, cut off. I can see there's a pip there that I missed, and I'm going to do exactly the same down there. So I'm going between, so there's one petal, there's the next one, so I'm going into that deeper one there. So this one I'm going down about 1 centimetre. I'm not going quite as far because we're getting onto the smaller flowers now. So I still want that middle to stick, but I don't want to cut all the way in that I risk losing one of my petals. So again, grabbing my bone folder, bring it in, just being very careful. Oh, excuse me. So bringing that in, I hope I'm not starting a cold, and then curling that up, keeping my thumb there at the base of the petal and curling that up. And again, and as I said, with this one I am using all of the flowers. You don't have to use all the flowers. You could make one large one and a smaller one. So what you could do is finish with that one, pop that in the middle and call that your flower, and you're finished. And then do these two with that with another punched. You can punch another one or hand cut another one and pop it in the middle and have those two layers if you want. But I'm going to carry on and build it up so that we have the 5 flowers and the circle in the middle. So I'm just going to pop that on there, pop that in the middle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset it a little bit. I could line it up with the petals like that, but I just want to offset it a little bit just to give it that richer look, more detailed. So pressing that down in the middle. Again, it's bouncing up, so I'm just going to, this is a rubber and a sharpener. If I take that out, you've got the sharpener in there in case anyone's wondering. I'm just going to pop that on, and hopefully that'll hold that down. And then my last one, again, I'm going to, oh, now this one, if I remember rightly, yes, we've got some little holes all the way around, so I'm just going to push those through with my tweezers like that. The tweezers, in case anyone's interested, I picked up from the Works last year, I think it was. It was a set of 4, I think, for about £1.50. So I'm just pulling all of those off there, get rid of all those little circles. Sometimes they're a little bit stubborn, but you have to be careful. You don't want to rip through your card and ruin your middle flower, although you could, it's easily fixed if it does happen. How do I know? Because I've done it. So there we go. Oh, and I'm ripping actually some of the card on it. It's the back, so I'm not worried. And we have a little bit there, just going to cut that off very carefully. At the end of the day, it's just a piece of card, and even if I wrecked it or ripped it, I can either fix it or I can do without. So I'm going to bring my scissors in, and again I'm just going to cut in about a centimetre. Again, I'm going to go every other one, just because I don't want to run the risk of overlapping on some of my cuts and risk cutting away part of the flower. So exactly the same as I've done before, only this time I'm going to bring in my smaller bone folder just so as I can get in. This is slightly thinner, and it's got more flexibility in it. This one, this is off my hoogie board. So just giving that a push. So again, feeding it between, pushing with this thumb down in the middle, and then pulling up with the bone folder as I've got my thumb on the paper, just to give it that dimension. So all the way around like that. Not every paper pack or flower pack is going to be exactly the same, so, and not every flower in this pack is exactly the same, so it's worth getting about and having a bit of a play first. So that's that one done, but I'm going to raise up my middle bit. So those are flat there, so it's still, although there is some dimension, it's still fairly flat, but I want to put some dimension in this one. So I'm just going to flip these over, and this is quite a thick dimension, so I'm going to use this one on my middle. So I'm just going to pop that in the middle, and then I've got a much thinner dimensions, and I've cut these because these are quite, I mean that's the size of them normally, but I've cut it down, just cut it in half, and I'm going to pop that on the back of there like that. So I'll take that off, and I'm going to pop that in the middle like that, and then the same with the circle piece, if I can get the back off. Oh, that didn't want to come off. There we go, and pop that in the middle. Now before you do stick them down, you can ink all the edges, which will give it even more dimension if you want to, and you could, if you want to, fold them the other way so that they close around that circle bit, but I quite like it that way. So that's done. What you would then do, and I'm not going to do because I'm going to pop it on another one of these cards, and I need to line these up. You will have seen it in the video where I was making this that I uploaded on Friday. But what you would then do is get the 2 leaves, and if you want to shape it you can. So using your bone folder again, push down and pull up at the same time, and then I just flip mine over so I've got like an S shape. So again, I'm going to pull up and get that shape. So I've got a shape going that way, and I'm going to flip it over and do exactly the same on the other side so that I get a nice sort of S shape. And then those will glue behind here. So whichever way you like, let me turn it that way. So I could do it like that. Let me pop it down so you can see I can do it like that. I can do it like that. I can group them together if I want to, like that, which I'm not so keen on, I'll be honest. I prefer either that, or for this project I've done them like that. So Tracy, I hope that's sort of explained to you how those paper flowers go together. If you've got that paper pad, hopefully you'll be able to pull that together. Let me have a look. I think these are all 1 sheet flowers that I've got left. Yeah, these are all 1 sheet. So you would, with this one, that would be your bottom layer. Then you'd layer that one on top, then that one on top, and then that one on top of that one. And then that one is the very top one with your center in the middle. And then you've got 3 different leaves on that one. So that one's the same. That one I've already done. And this one, yeah, they're all 1 flower sheets, unfortunately. Otherwise I'd have shown you if there was 2 on them, but never mind. Okay, so Tracy, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.